I've said in the past that I'm a conservative radical. On the one hand, I have a respect for institutions that have been established, and I oftentimes will work within it. But the radical side is always seeking something that makes sense. Sometimes institutions have rules and procedures that don't make sense. I will fight battles to make sure that happens, tackling even federal government if needed. I'm Jennie Chin Hansen. I was first born here in the United States 3 months after my mother arrived from China. I grew up in Boston in Chinatown, and so it was a very ethnocentric community. And right away, you know that there's an otherism of immigrants. And otherism really does bother me, that people aren't included and recognized for what they have to contribute. So I feel really strongly that people's presence and dignity should be honored regardless of nativity, regardless of language, and regardless of economic status. As a teenager, I enjoyed being a volunteer in the hospital. So nursing became that choice, and I went to Boston College. And it was quite amazing to realize on the entire campus, I ended up being the only Asian female. But after I finished my bachelor's degree in nursing at Boston College, I had an opportunity to either stay on the East Coast or come out here in the West. And UCSF was interesting because of just the setting and just kind of the openness of the school. One of the things that UCSF offers is the ability to really think and create something that may not be existing. When I first chose to be a nurse, I had no idea that my career would be going to Washington to testify before the House Ways and Means.
So I think the whole aspect of affordability is there, and some creative ways to look at subsidies to make it possible.
I came from the ground up, from working clinically at the bedside and in a program that served older individuals called Unlock. How I began at Unlock was the ability to think about how people who normally would go to a nursing home but couldn't actually access nursing homes, how would they get care? Could we design a center during the day where older people come for some of their clinical care and they socialize, but then they go home at night and sleep in their own beds? And so we ended up finding that in order to make common sense, meaning this way of aging in your community, we actually had to tackle federal programs like Medicare and Medicaid. So that was the genesis of Unlock. And this became federal legislation in 1997. And over the course of this time, my own parents became beneficiaries of this, which is one of my personal big achievements in my life. And now, here in 2022, there are 31 states that have this program replicated.
And Mr. President, we're absolutely delighted that you could join us for this town hall meeting.
One of the fortunate things I had to experience was being a president of AARP during the time that President Obama took office and worked on the Affordable Care Act. And the AARP was a real key player to help the country see that covering more people with health care that was accessible and affordable was good for the country, not just thinking about older people only. And I was thrilled to be still in office when President Obama signed it into law, and then had the fortune of going on to be the CEO of the American Geriatric Society. Most recently, I've had, in the past 4.5 years, an opportunity to work with the emergency department at UCSF Health to help the emergency departments become more geriatrically competent. that will be significant because geriatric EDs only exist in just under 300 hospitals of the over 5,000 hospitals in the country. So there is some groundbreaking work that's happening here at UCSF. None of this would be possible without the family that I have, like having a husband who's been so supportive, and he and I have been married now 30 years. And the son, Eric, went to graduate school here at UCSF and now is in the orthopedics department and is the section chief. And the incredible and very funny grandchildren that we have. The fact that they know we're a part of their lives is really important to us. Needless to say, being awarded this medal has totally surprised me. And there's a feeling actually of obligation that I need to use this platform for good and for added change. So I take this as a challenge that there is more work to do and making sure that we have the world left a little better.